Good afternoon. This is Sunday, August 26th, 2018, and my name is Paul Castleberry. I am the instructor for Global Climate Change in ASC 190, and I thought I'd just spend just a couple of minutes kind of giving you a primer on the layout of this course. And before we do that, let me just talk a little bit about myself. Um, I have been teaching several courses for the span of about 25 years now. One of those is an introductory meteorology course. This particular course, Global Climate Change, has been offered now, I think, for 3 years. And I also offer several other courses, not here at Simpson, but at other places. My background is in meteorology. My undergraduate degree program was in atmospheric science at the University of Louisiana Monroe, and then my master's, also in atmospheric science, is from the University of Kansas, Rock Chalk. And then my PhD in meteorology as well. Actually, it's agricultural climatology, is from Iowa State University back in 2000. So you kind of have an idea of my educational background there. I really enjoy offering this particular course. Like I said, it's a relatively new course, and it is a course that is centered on global climate change, but specifically different aspects within our ecosystem on how global climate change impacts each of those areas. For instance, one of the earliest topics that we'll cover in this course is on population, and population certainly has an impact on global climate change, and also global climate change has an impact on population. Now we'll be talking about human population, but certainly there are different types of species out there of populations that we'll be hinting at during this course. So we'll be talking a lot. We'll be talking a lot about items that will impact global climate change and global climate change impacting them. Notice I didn't use the term global warming. I'm specifically talking about global climate change because I'm going to leave that up to you to determine whether global warming is caused by humans. There's no doubt there is global warming going on, but is the cause? That's kind of the issue. Those that think that this is just a natural cycle of global warming, or if it's actually caused by things that humans do. So let's take a look at your course on Scholar. I'll be running this course through Scholar completely, so you'll need to get in and take a look at it. You'll notice here that I have an announcement section. I also have the syllabus. I would strongly encourage you to take a look at this syllabus on the first day of class, which is tomorrow on Monday. Let me go ahead and click on it, and let's just spend a little time with the syllabus. Here's some information you see right here about me, how you can contact me, and actually I've just noticed I have changed my cell phone number, so I need to go in and change that. And I'm going to give you a little behind the scenes look at this on how I edit things within Scholar. So you've probably never seen this before. Let's see if I go back here a moment. I'm glad I caught that, because if you called this old number, you would get a recording that says it's out of service. All this stuff that you never see from your instructors, you're actually getting to see how we put together Scholar. So I'm going to go back in here and edit and add my new phone number. Okay, there's my new cell number, and I'm going to update this. So, ta-da, you get to see a little bit behind the scenes. But right now, I'm going to go back to the student view because that's what you're going to see, right? So I think it's important that we spend some time in the student view. So again, we'll go back to the syllabus, and there you see my contact information, email, and also if you have, I don't have any specific office hours scheduled. This is an online course, completely online. So if you would like to schedule an office hour or an office 15 minutes, whatever you prefer, we can do it by Zoom. And what you would need to do is send me an email and say, hey, Paul, I would like to visit with you. Can we set up a time Tuesday at 7 o'clock? And so then I would go into Zoom, set up an appointment, and then we would meet online so we could talk. It's not required, but certainly if you have any issues that you'd like to discuss online, we could certainly do that. Most of the contact, I suspect, like previous semesters, will be by email, but sometimes email is not the best method of asking or getting an answer to your question. Certainly asking a question is fine, but maybe answering by email is a bit laborious. What I would like you to do is go through and read through the description of the course. I'll give you an idea of what we're looking at. The course prerequisites, and I want to just spend a moment here. There are no formal pre and or co-requisites for this course. Now we're going to be talking a little bit in this particular course, a little bit of biology, a little bit of chemistry, but all basic components that you've had in high school. And I'm assuming that you have no background knowledge in areas related to atoms, matter, motions, forces. I actually put in tutorials into this course to help get you up to speed. And so I cover everything you're going to need to know in this course. So I don't want you to be concerned about that. The objectives here, like any science course I offer, I want you to have a basic understanding of science and how we use it to apply to our world. How do we look at our world, approach our world from a scientific method? And this course will provide you with the background to be informed on local and or national issues, such as global climate change. The assignments that I have in this course will help you to make connections between what you see in the book and what you see out there in the real world. We also have some simulations. One specific simulation, computer simulation, that you will use is on world population. This is always a very fun simulation for students to do, and so that'll be early on in the course. This will help, again, with your knowledge and application of scientific principles that we learn about in this course. And then to understand the basic principles of the scientific method. How do you approach a scientific problem? We have a methodology. We'll do this in class, or I'm sorry, online. And then we'll learn science by simply doing it. You will work on assignments that will have you actually doing science, which I think is pretty exciting. Here's the course design. You're going to spend, on average, about 9 hours per week. Now, I would hope that you would probably spend maybe an hour, hour and a half a day. Certainly, you can certainly take a Saturday and spend all 9 hours at that time. I wouldn't recommend it, though, because it would be a bit overkill. Now, this is a 4-credit undergraduate online course, and this course is going to be as if you took it face-to-face. In other words, we'll have 24 hours of lecture activities, which are YouTube videos that I've put up for you to view. We'll have discussion topics, and it makes sense to have discussion topics in a course like this. So we'll spend 24 hours there. Reading, you'll also have some readings from your text, and I also have some supplementary readings from articles online and some PDFs and those types of things. And then you'll spend about 48 hours in this class working on homework, quizzes, assignments, exams, labs, and simulations. We'll also have a term paper. So throughout the semester, you'll spend about 16 hours working on that term paper. And it'll be a total of 144 hours that you put into this course. just like you would if you met face to face. So this is the same type of situation. The topics that we'll cover. Chapter 1 in your textbook, and I guess I should get down here quickly, and this is the textbook I would like you to purchase. It's called Environmental Science, Earth is a Living Planet, the 9th edition by Botkin and Keller. You can get that from Simpson. So I would encourage you to get that textbook as soon as possible. And so these are the topics that we'll cover. We'll talk a little bit about environmental science, specifically key themes or issues. And then we'll talk about science, the scientific method. When you when you defend a position, you need to be able to have some critical thinking involved to support your positions on a particular argument like global climate change. So in chapter 2, we'll spend a little bit of time talking about some examples there, so you can look at that. And then we'll talk about systems. The Earth as a whole is a system, and within the Earth system, there are a lot of other systems, such as the atmosphere is a system within the global system. Soil is a system. Geological plates are a system. Hydrology, water is a system. We'll spend some time looking at this. And specifically in chapter 7, we'll actually look at elements, compounds, such as the nitrogen cycle, the carbon dioxide cycle, methane. All of these compounds actually impact global climate change. So we'll spend a little time learning about that. Energy. We're going to be talking a lot about it. We're actually going to be talking about quite a bit of energy the second half of the course. And so I want you to have a little bit of a basic background. Again, I'll provide you with all the material you need to get up to speed on energy. But then we'll take that newfound knowledge and we'll apply it to things such as fossil fuels, alternative energy, nuclear energy, and then the atmosphere and climate change as a whole. So again, just a few topics, but I find that they're very interesting topics. And at the end of this course, you will be very knowledgeable on sources of energy, like the topics that I've presented here. The course itself has 6 parts to it. Online lectures, which will run, there you see the dates. Supplemental material, I'll provide all of that on Scholar, so everything you need will be on Scholar. We'll have some simulations, computer simulations, which are really fun. All of the homework, quizzes, assignments, exams, labs will all be online and through Scholar. Discussion topics also through Scholar. And I'll divide you into groups, and you'll know who your group members are. Other assignments that I might deem necessary. So for instance, if we were to have something in terms of a breaking event on global climate change, I will work that into the course as well. So we'll stay topical in this course. Laboratory exercises, I think the best way that you learn science is to actually work with labs, taking data, manipulating that data, using the scientific method to look at a particular challenge or a problem. You see information here on the exam, assignments, homework, labs, makeup. Basically, there are no makeups. I have the information out to you at least 6 days in advance. As we go a little bit further into the course, I'll begin to make I'll begin to open up more parts of the course. So you'll have 2 to 3 weeks in advance so you can move along at your pace. But I should be very explicit here. There are deadlines that you have to meet each week. And those deadlines occur at 11:55 p.m. every Sunday night. So you have to have everything done by that week, for that week. Now, for those of you that want to go ahead and work ahead, if you decide to, it's not required, certainly. but if you would like to do that, I'll make that opportunity available as we get a little further into the course. Here's the grading scale. I'll let you take a look at that. Kind of self-explanatory. Most of you in here should get A's or B's. If you do your work and you ask questions and you're engaged in the course, you certainly shouldn't get no less than a B, I would think. But here's the breakdown of grades. So basically your homeworks, your labs, your quizzes, the simulations make up half of your grade. So you have a very, what's the term I'm looking for? You can really impact your grade by doing your assignments, and you can impact it in a good way. So 50% there. Group discussions worth 20%, and we'll explain more of those as we get to those. You have 9 exams, and the total is 10%. So each of those exams are about 1%. So exam 1 is worth about 1.1% of your grade. So not any one exam or even all 9 exams are going to make that big of an impact in your grade. So if you're not a great test taker, this is good for you. It's only worth 10%. And then the term paper is worth 20%, you see there. So again, I believe that the labs and the term papers and the group discussions is really the brunt of your grade, and the exams are only a very small portion. Information about communication. I do have a daytime job at Iowa State University. I guess I should have mentioned that earlier. I work in the College of Engineering, and I'm what you would call, or what they call, a classification officer, which means I deal with a lot of the paperwork that's generated by the College of Engineering. So please spend some time looking at the academic integrity policy. Also note, I have a link down here that I would encourage you this week to go through and take a look at. So if I copy and paste that, should come up here in a moment, and specifically take a look at the policies. If you have any accommodations that are needed, I would encourage you to actually take a look at this. There is a process in place for accommodations, and I would ask that you make this actually go through the accommodations as early as possible. So if you do need things like an extended time on the test, or audible books, or distraction-free environment. The distraction-free environment is pretty simple because you can create that for yourself. This is an online course. So those types of things. I should also mention that all the YouTube videos with the lectures, they are closed captioned. So if you're hearing impaired, that is an option that is available for you specifically. Okay, so that's the syllabus in a nutshell. I'm going to go back here. And so we start class tomorrow. Can you believe it? Man, where did the summer go? And you blink and July was gone and August is almost already gone. But you see right here, I've got the first week set up, August 27th through September 2nd. I want you to read chapter 1 in your textbook. And then notice I have some links here. I have the lecture video. And if you click on that, it opens up another window here.
Welcome to Chapter 1. And specifically in Chapter 1, we'll be talking about key themes in environmental sciences.
So yes, that's me. That's me talking. So one thing I should point out here, notice that this first lecture is 50 minutes. I would recommend that you don't sit through the 50 minutes all in one sitting. I would probably recommend that maybe you divide it in half. I would suggest maybe Monday or Tuesday at the latest, view the first 25 minutes, and then come back the next day and view the remaining 25 minutes. Now I've also put PowerPoint slides here for you. you can use this. I have had students where they will take the PowerPoint slides. I just downloaded it onto the computer here from that link, and now it's going to pop up here in a moment. But some students like printing out the PowerPoint slides and taking notes as they're viewing the Lecture 1 video. I'm not saying you have to do that, but that is a possibility if you would like to do it that way. Ooh, there's the dreaded beach ball. That's when your memory in your computer is having a little bit of issues. No, I don't want to do that. So notice I have a PDF here. So this is your PowerPoint would come up, and you can tell I haven't opened up PowerPoint on this computer yet because it's giving me all these other things. But also, during the first week, you'll be reading 11 pages of this article on world population prospects. So I'd like you to spend some time and go through the first 11 pages, which starts right here, page 1, you see down there. And it talks a little bit about world population in 2015, so this is a little bit dated. You'll actually figure out what this type of graph is because we talk about this when we get to the chapter on population this week. So you just go through and peruse through and read the first 11 pages. Now there are more than 11 pages here, but I am only concerned that you review the first 11 pages. So stop once you get to page 11. Now if you want to continue on, that's fine, but the information that I would like you to get out of this particular article will be the first 11 pages. And then I've got a couple of videos here. Why the World Population Won't Exceed 11 Billion by Hans Rosling. And if I click on that there, notice the video is only 16 and a half minutes. Okay, so not a long time.
An overview would be like this.
And if you click on the closed captioning, you will see it's closed caption there.
The population is not growing here from the year 2000, from the year when we started agriculture way back then, 5,000 years ago.
So you can see very quickly in chapter 1, one of the key themes in environmental sciences that we're talking about is going to be population. And then I've got another video here, Visions of a Sustainable World. Again, this is only a 10-minute video, so they're not huge videos. Won't take much time. And then I've got another article, so there are 2 articles this week that you'll read on. This one's One Planet and How Many People, a view on carrying capacity, and I actually talk about carrying capacity in this week's lecture video. It's covered in your textbook as well. But there's some interesting things here I thought you might find a little interesting on the world's population. Again, a few pages here to read, but not that much. So this is just additional information here. This one here, why the world won't reach 11 billion, and then here, visions of a sustainable world. So in chapter 1, we also talk about sustainability as well. You do have a quiz, and notice that the quiz is due by next Sunday, September 2nd, 11:55 p.m. This is not group work, so you don't work on it together. This is individual submission. Now, one thing I should point out is that when you take this quiz, notice you get 5 attempts, 5 whole attempts. It's multiple choice, and you have 5 possibilities. Think about that. 5 attempts, and you've got 5 choices for each question, A, B, C, D, E. There's certainly no reason why you can't get 100% on this. So I'm going to give you 5 attempts on this. You'll get to see which ones. So the first time you complete it, the first time you complete the quiz, you'll see the ones that you missed, and you go back, you take it again, and hopefully you do better the second time. And I will take your highest score in the quiz and use that for your grade on the quiz. So there's no reason why you can't get 100% on every quiz this semester. And then I have this, our first discussion topic, and it's on this concept called the precautionary principle, which is covered in Chapter 1. We talk about the precautionary principle. I talk about it in the lecture video. It's on the PowerPoint slide. So you'll have to do some preparation before you get to the quiz and before you get to the discussion question. So that's why I encourage you, do not wait till Sunday evening, okay, to begin viewing the video, the PowerPoint slides, reading the paper, short videos. You're going to want to do all of this. My recommendation is that you have completed all of your preparation work, like viewing the videos, reading the chapter, by no later than Thursday, because then that gives you Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to complete the assignments such as your quiz 1 and your group topic, discussion topic. Notice that I have assignments indented from all of the other resources here. So that right there is a quick clue, hey, this is what I've got to complete this week. So notice that that's indented. I've also put these checklists where you can check off when you've completed something. That's for you. That's not for me. So that kind of gives you an idea of how you can kind of keep up with how you're progressing. Okay, well, let's just click on this group discussion topic here. And notice here, precautionary principle, discussion topic number 1, due no later than September 2nd, 11:55 with your assigned group. So there's some information regarding that. And then I give you the question, or actually the scenario, to discuss with your group. So imagine that you're the head of a government agency in charge of approving newly designed genetically modified crops. Okay, GMOs. Now, and I won't read through the rest because you can do that. So my question to you is, would you or would you not approve the new crop? What I'm looking for is that you can use the concepts that were discussed about the precautionary principle in your answer. If you just say, yes, I would approve the use of this new crop because it seems like it would save the world. There's nothing in there about precautionary principle. You have not addressed the topic or the concept of precautionary principle. That would be a good way to get a 0 on this assignment. You want to make sure that you address or defend your answer using the concept of the precautionary principle. So then, let's see. So I see that I'm in Group A. So let's see. I have to click here, and I would put my response. And then I would click Post to Forum. So it's pretty simple there on how to do that. Okay, I think I've talked enough about week 1. We'll go back. I will go ahead and release the second week materials sometime over the weekend, next weekend, so you can go ahead and get a start on that. Also notice I've given you a break, or provided a break, because it's Thanksgiving week. No one wants to work over Thanksgiving week, right? So you got that week off. Okay, I hope you're excited about this course, and I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you in a virtual environment, whether that be email, phone, or Zoom. So, hey, let me know, and again, don't put these things off. Make sure that you view and read all of your preparation materials by no later than Thursday so you can start working on your quiz and your discussion topic. Well, I hope you have a great start to your semester, And I have to figure out how to turn this off.